I'm Larry Johnson, and here's how I see it. Among some psychologists, there's the belief that human nature is basically selfish. They say human beings are strongly disposed to traits like selfishness, domination, and warfare. That we have strong natural impulses to compete with one another and accumulate power and possessions. This view of human nature is supported by theories like the selfish gene theory, popularized by evolutionary psychologists who claim that present-day human traits originated in prehistoric times. It was seen as a period of intense competition, where life was a battle where only the strong survived. And since survival depended on access to food, the theory goes, there was bound to be competition and conflict between rival groups, which led to warfare. But this assumption, according to Professor Steve Taylor, a senior lecturer in psychology at Leeds Beckett University, is totally false. In the prehistoric era, the world was very sparsely populated. 15,000 years ago, according to some estimates, the population of Europe was only 29,000, and the population of the whole world was no more than 500,000. With such small population densities, Professor Taylor says, it seems unlikely that prehistoric hunter-gatherer groups had to compete for access to resources, or had any need to develop ruthlessness or to go to war. So there's no reason to think that selfishness and cruelty are natural to human beings, he says, nor that traits such as warfare and male domination should have been selected by evolution, since they would have had no benefit. In fact, members who behaved selfishly and ruthlessly, he says, were ostracized from their groups, while traits such as altruism, cooperation, and peacefulness were rewarded, and those most prevalent among hunter-gatherers for tens of thousands of years. Therefore, he concludes, these are the strongest traits in us today. Well, if this is the case, then why do present-day humans often behave so selfishly and ruthlessly? And why are warfare and male dominations so normal to many cultures? Professor Taylor responds that research has shown repeatedly that when the natural habitats of primates such as chimpanzees are disrupted, they tend to become more violent and hierarchical. So, he suggests, perhaps something similar has happened to us since we gave up the hunter-gatherer lifestyle and switched to farming, and then started living in towns and cities. Well then, maybe it's time for us to return to the woods. I'm Larry Johnson. Until next week, stay well